Number 8, Appointment in Crime Alley. Now this is the first non-two-parter, so hopefully it will be much shorter. Batman the Animated Series creation Roland Daggett, a stand-in for Max Schreck, wants to rebuild Park Row.
30 years ago, Park Row was Gotham City's most glamorous address. But in recent years, the area has suffered a decline. And today, it is a slum better known as the infamous Crime Alley.
To everyone, as it is where Thomas and Martha Wayne were killed. Bruce knows Daggett is corrupt,
Director of the
but
Daggett
does not have enough proof to
Corporation
put.
see the situation differently.
It's tragic. Park Row may be an historical landmark, but it's also a breeding ground for crime. Of course, much as we disagree with the zoning board's decision, our hands are tied.
Crime Alley is also the home to a bunch of people, including Thomas Wayne's old medical student friend of the family, Dr. Leslie Tompkins, who still runs a free clinic there with Bruce's help. She was the first one to comfort Bruce the night Thomas and Martha were shot, and Leslie still goes with him to drop roses on the very spot that they were killed. This night, he is late because he is helping other citizens around Park Row. Leslie, because of this, is kidnapped because she discovers that what is happening is arson and, cannot be left alive. Batman finds her talking to witnesses who saw the kidnapping, and he frees her. Leslie tells him that there are people living in the hotel that is going to be blown up. He rescues them, stops the arsonist, and then why this goes on the list arrives.
People don't value human life like we do.
Nobody values human life like you do, Daggett. Bess, you're finished.
I'm shocked. Shocked to learn that arson was the cause of this tragedy. Thank heaven the criminals responsible have been caught.
But, Mr. Daggett, you told us to...
Officers, I believe your duty is clear.
Now, Batman thinks he's got Daggett, who pretends to be shocked that arson was involved, and then wiggles out of being brought to justice.
Oh. Daggett won't escape the law forever. There's nothing you can do now. And besides, you have an appointment to keep.
Leslie states to let him go because Batman is late for an appointment to keep. Leslie says as they play
This used to be a beautiful street.
Good people
lived here once.
Batman replies,
Good people still live
good
in Crime
people
Alley.
still live in Crime Alley. Number 7, Pretty Poison. One of the early episodes with one of my favorite quotes. Bullock is interrogating a chef after Harvey Dent suffers food poisoning.
So what did you put in this mousse? Chocolate, sugar, eggs, cream.
Strychnine?
No strychnine. But I added just a pinch of vanilla.
That is jumping ahead of ourselves. Then again, this episode sets up a great line and almost got it.
Poison ivy.
It's been a long time, Harvey. You're still looking halfway decent.
Half of me wants to strangle you.
And what does the other half want?
It
To
opens
hit you with a truck.
5 years before, with the building and later opening of Stonegate for a better, safer Gotham. I do not think having a prison so close to a major metropolitan city is the wisest choice. As Attica, the real black, or Stonegate is in upstate New York, while New York City is downstate. Then again, there is the federal prison in Atlanta, so you never know. We see that flowers, along with other plants, being dug up. We do not know the significance of these plants, but we will. The next thing is simultaneous storylines. Batman going after a prison break by air, which Commissioner Gordon gets a phone call about. Thumbs up for them doing the phone call twice with what comes later, by the way. Meanwhile, at the Rose Cafe, Harvey Dent is with his new yet to be told to us fiancée, Pamela Isley. Pam, a knockout. No, people. I mean, as a 14-year-old, I was attracted to a drawing knockout. Harvey tells her about his good friend Bruce, even though Bruce is running late. Well, Harvey does this. It
Bruce? He's
coordinates
always late.
with the
He probably got
chase
hung up on
that
business.
the Batman. It. Batman, yeah, sure. The complaining about the winged creatures at night, and Bruce is in the Batmobile calling Alfred, who tells Bruce he has already alerted the district attorney that he and Miss Isley await him at the Rose Cafe, which initially the food there, Alfred says, is to die for. When Bruce gets there, he and Pam tell stories about Harvey till late in the day. Pamela kisses Harvey goodbye and turns all the men's heads as she leaves. Now, right after that, Bruce asks if Pam has a sister. Harvey springs the fact that he's asked her to marry him. Bruce is, of course, shocked by this. Harvey has known Pam less than a month, maybe even just a week or two. It is while Bruce is telling him this that is telling Harvey that marriage is a big step, that we are almost set to go off to the races, as Harvey starts to feel a little sick. Bruce is making a little joke. Harvey falls into his dessert. Once Bruce realizes that Harvey is not kidding around, he sounds the alarm. That leads us back to Commissioner Gordon and the phone call, who tells his staff that Harvey Dent is in the hospital. They once again race out of Gotham's version of One Police Plaza and head to the emergency room of Gotham General. The doctors inform the commissioner and Bruce that this was not just a bad case of oysters or anything. Mr. Dent has been poisoned! Bullet is put in charge of the investigation. And I love his interrogation of the chef. The interrogation tactic, anything with the screaming of the strychnine. The doctors tell Bruce that this is a rare poison, that if Harvey is going to make it, they need to find the antidote, and fast! Pam shows up, where, of course, Bruce believes something funny about her. Odd thing to think about, your friend's fiancé, but then again, he is the world's greatest detective, or so the saying goes. Maybe he has a point. When Bruce learns everything he can about Dr. I.
What do you have, Alfred?
Well, sir, Miss Isley is a research chemist with Chez Gerard, the cosmetics firm. She works on the development of new fragrances.
He knows that the wedding is off. Then again, if some girl tried to kill my childhood friend after accepting a proposal of marriage, you can bet I would do the same thing. Besides, you are supposed to wait till you get married. That way you could at least collect half of the money. I kid. Then again, Pam isn't really the marrying kind. Bruce confronts her and she says that she is Poison Ivy, only here to make Harvey pay for the murder of her flowers. Genius, using the flowers of an almost extinct plant, by the way. Just a nod to the writers. Poison Ivy has also poisoned Bruce and is about to feed her to the giant Venus flytrap. I guess every crazy plant lady needs one. Batman breaks out of there and then informs her, as he is on the ground with the toxin racing through his body as well, that if he goes, he won't be the only one going. The thorny rose, the very plant used to poison him and Harvey Dent, will go with him. Poison Ivy makes a deal, and she cannot bear it to see the flower destroyed. The next scene, we see Harvey waking up in the hospital, and Bruce says he doesn't believe Pam is the right one.
Now, Harv, about your engagement to Pam.
The last thing we see is
We're good
Poison
friends,
Ivy
right? I have to be honest with you, don't I?
in the very
Okay,
prison that
I think
started
Pam
all
is
of
wrong
this
for you.
trouble in the first place, saying that they can bury her as deeply as they like, but
They
you
can
grow
bury me
back.
in the ground
We
as
always
deep as they like, but I'll grow back. We
menacing
always grow
to
back.
the very end. Heart-pounding action all over the place, and that's why this one didn't weed out of my top 10. Oh, come on! You have to give me that one. Number 7.
Let's just, yeah, let's cut.
Because I need